What's going on, guys? Marc Guberti here. In this video, we're going to talk about how to plan your blog post for the week. And if you guys are new here and want more stuff around growing your platform, make sure you subscribe for more content like this video. So many people, they start their planning process by just thinking about different topics they want to write about. And this is the part where there's no strategy behind it. It's just whatever thought comes first. And this really hurts earning potential. So instead of starting with identifying different topics that make sense for you to write about, start by identifying the products that you may be launching soon, the products that you already have that you want to do an extra push for, or the affiliate products that you plan on promoting soon. It's important to identify these first because that will influence what type of blog post you write now. So let's say, for instance, you want to talk about some productivity training course. Would it make as much sense to talk about business growth strategies when instead you should be writing blog posts around productivity, how to be more productive, different strategies you can use? And when you create content revolving around the offer you're going to share with your audience very soon, it warms them up to the offer and actually leads to more sales. I'll be doing a more in-depth video about blogging for money and how some of these bloggers really make it in the online space. But a big part of that is knowing what your offers are. And then once you do that, that then transitions into step number 2, which most people think is step number 1, which is to identify the blog posts. And depending on how frequently you blog, you could very easily come up with all the blog posts for the week or the month. So if you only do a blog post each week, it's easier to just pick a day and come up with all of your ideas for the month. But I do recommend you blog at least 2 times per week. The more you show up to your audience, the better. And I did see a big increase in my YouTube growth and my blog growth when I shifted to daily content. And even 3 times a week really makes a big difference when it comes to growth. So after you've identified the blog posts, the next step is to outline them. So think about, what examples do you want to use in the blog post? What links do you want to have? Just outline each individual blog post before you start writing it. It's important to really approach these different stages in blocks rather than come up with idea, do outline, write blog post, and repeat that same process. When you identify ideas and you do this for a whole bunch of ideas for the entire week or the entire month if you're only doing weekly content, then you can go to the next stage of outlining, do that for all of your blog posts without having to do the mental transition of continuously changing the task. There is a gap between finishing something and starting something. So the fewer times you have to finish something and then start something new, the more productive you could be with your blogging. So that's why we start with figuring out your offers. We identify all the ideas in one go, and then we outline all the ideas in one go, and then we type the blog post in one go. And you could do this through a few days, especially if you write longer blog posts or you write more blog posts in a given week. So for some people, they actually write all the week's worth of blog posts in one day. But if you need 2 to 3 days for this part, that's fine too. Totally up to you. And you can start to build up extra content. So if you do have to miss a week, maybe you get sick, or maybe you're on a vacation when the lockdown's over, you have that extra content in the queue. It's always good to have stuff in the queue because it avoids the deadline stress. So anyways, we go to the point now where we've written the blog post, and the final step here is to just tweak them. So proofreading, adding pictures, which is really important for getting people to stick with us, because just a wall of text isn't really that engaging for people anymore. And also adding links and embedding videos when appropriate. So for almost all my blog posts now, I embed at least one YouTube video because that gives people additional content to watch. It gets people to subscribe to the channel, which I hope you've done already if you haven't done so yet. And it keeps people on the blog longer. So having someone on your site for 5 minutes versus for 2 minutes, that makes an incredible difference in the likelihood of that person sticking around. It makes an incredible difference in if that person's going to buy the offer that you're going to talk about very soon, because you planned around the offer instead of just throwing content in the air and seeing what would stick. But that's pretty much the process when it comes to the planning out your blog posts and getting them out in a timely manner, and also using them in a strategic way to make money with your blog. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Smash the like button if you did. I'd love to hear you guys in the comments, and subscribe if you aren't already. Till the next one, dream big, achieve greatness, and unlock your potential today.